Alright, what's up guys? Video information here. So today we're going to talk about Target and whether or not you actually want to work there or not. You're going to find out hopefully by the end of this video. I'm going to share with you my experience, a brief job description of the back room and the floor, the two positions that I technically worked, and then I'm going to give a rating for each of those categories. Anyways, the back room, basically, every time you're stocking something, it's either going to be on the lower shelves or the upper shelves. I'd say it goes up maybe 15, 20 feet high, but there's a staircase that you walk up, and typically there'll be two people, and they'll throw items up to you. Now, if you're either catching the items or you're the one throwing it up, either way you got to be careful, because obviously you don't want to throw the item too far to the left or right so you break it or it falls. And obviously, if it is falling, they tell you to just let it fall, just like they would anywhere else, because if you try to catch it, you could fall right off the staircase. But anyways, not important. So at first, they had us do the food and non-food, which was all 20 of the aisles. Then it started getting broken down to one person was on food for the day, and the rest, say 3 people would do the rest. So that'd be like 6 aisles for one person and like 14 for everybody else. And I'll admit, sometimes it wasn't fair because one person would be doing those 6 aisles and it'd be getting slammed. But a lot of the time, the other 14 aisles, bathroom, kitchen, living room, sports, and toys, they really got slammed more. So it just depended on the day. But anyways, when I first started there, that's what I was doing, was all 20 of those aisles, back room with like 5 or 6 other people. I think 6 is probably pushing it. There was probably like 4 other people, so like 5 coworkers. From there, I went out to the floor, and basically that's exactly what you'd expect. The people bring the pallets out to you from the truck and stuff like that, or from back room, because we'd pick the items off and bring it out to the floor, or whatever comes off the truck, we'd go ahead and stock. Makes sense, right? So when you're on the floor, you're either stocking the items, or if the store's open, you're answering people's questions. Obviously, the questions are going to be, hey, where's this? I was very bad at remembering where certain items were, so like I would be like, go ask that person or something. And there was a lot of people that knew because they worked the floor. I worked back room, so it made more sense for them to know than me anyways. But anyways, that pretty much describes the floor. I don't really know how else to describe it. They're pretty simple jobs. But going into my actual experience, at the start, I was doing those 20 aisles, and basically the boss said I was doing really good. It was a pretty chill job. I had no problem showing up. But then I started picking up a bit too many hours, and like I was really getting tired of it. But anyways, moving into it, I noticed a lot of people hated doing food. So I was like, hey, I can start to do food if you want. What ended up happening was one of the new coworkers, Mark, he ended up doing food, and I ended up doing the non-food with 3 other people for like, I'd say 2-3 months of the time that I worked there. And basically, he would stay late all the time, and my boss, and this is the thing, the manager kind of made the job harder than it needed to be. He'd always complain that like everybody wasn't staying late and that the job wasn't completely done. But here's the thing, you're already there for 8 hours, you're there doing your 40 hours a week, right? So what's the big deal if you're not staying late? It's not like, it's not like it's said in the rules, oh, you're supposed to stay late until the job's finished. No, you work your 40 hours, you go home. And if you already don't want to be there, like he knows none of us really want to be, then it makes sense that you wouldn't want to consistently keep going there, thus not wanting to show up the next day. Like you wouldn't stay late and then not want to show up, It's about psychology. You got to keep yourself sane. You got to do what you want to do to make yourself happy and show up to work the next day. That's just my mindset on it. But anyways, in the end, Mark stopped doing food. I ended up doing food because I preferred it anyways. I can't explain it. I didn't mind doing it, even though it was a pain in the butt, carrying those heavy Gatorades sometimes up like 2-3 shelves because you had to go and stack them higher because they were all supposed to be in the same category, stuff like that. I didn't mind doing it. There were days that it definitely sucked though, and he'd still get on me even if I did 40 hours hard work, mostly done, still would get on you if you left early, or not early, sorry, but like you left before what he considered was done, which is like probably 2 hours more of work when you can just come in the next day and work on it. And by the end of the week, we'd always be caught up either way. But it was a very annoying experience for me personally, simply because of my manager. This one doesn't have too much. I'm just explaining a manager that was kind of a pain because he expected you to just stay late because his work ethic was like, oh, always stay late. I mean, I respected the guy for what he was. He would have a freaking bloody nose quite often. He'd get sick all the time. But that just goes to show you that, like, are you really doing the right thing for your body and for your life? And he ended up, apparently after I left, getting a higher position, so props to him. But management, in my opinion, ruined the job. The job itself isn't that bad, which brings me to the rating. So the backroom, I'd give it an 8 out of 10 for the non-food. It's way more chill than the food because if something cracks, spills or something like that, odds are it's not going to stink as much as it will in food. There was at least 3 different times where olive oil, the glass would break. It would just stink up the whole aisle, dude. Olive oil isn't the worst scent in the world, but still, there would just be a lot of different things that would break. Jelly. There was one time where I think it was vinegar. That one really was bad. But anyways, I would give the backroom food a 7 out of 10. I didn't mention this yet, but the freezer sucked, dude. I mean, anybody that's ever worked in a freezer, it's way too cold. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. It just seeps right through. So I would say the only good thing is if you don't mind doing it, which my buddy Mark didn't mind. So he would typically go in for 10 minutes, come out for 10 minutes, go in for 10 minutes. And heck, man, that's a whole hour that you're killing every 3 times you go in and out. So if you don't mind doing it, it's pretty great, but I gave it a 7 out of 10 for that reason. 6 out of 10 for the actual floor itself, only because sometimes those customers would be 5-6 questions every I felt 10 minutes. I wouldn't even finish a pallet in an hour just because there's so many people asking me questions. I don't like that. I like to just do my work and get lost in it, which you guys already know from my last video. The Amazon line was my favorite because I could just shut off my brain and just work. That's why I like the backroom. No one's bothering me. I'm just working. But that is it though, guys. Do you think Target is a good job for you? Is there a different position that you might have done, or did you do this position? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you like content like this. Video information out.